Welcome back to the EFX Sports Show live on ESPN 910 Radio. Dr. Jeff Galini with Coach Brian Andrews. And I am really excited, Brian, about today's show because not only do we have a super guest, but we become good friends, and he's actually sits on my advisory board. So just one heck of a guy who knows his stuff.
Yes, I am more than happy also to give a quick little intro here before we get into the meat and potatoes of this talk today. But let me just introduce to you Dr. Adam Rajoulh. He's an MD who is board-certified family medicine physician, and he's also an avid bodybuilder. But what really makes him stand out is the fact that he is also the CEO and founder of Lion Edge Nutrition, and this is a newly formed sports nutrition brand that it just so happens to be manufactured by none other than All American Pharmaceutical. And he is a man on a mission to change the sports nutrition and supplement industry forever by exposing all the frauds while also offering the marketplace cutting-edge physician-formulated products. So thank you so much for your time today, and welcome to the show, Dr. Adam.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, gentlemen. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So, Adam, how did you get interested in bodybuilding? I mean, did you play any sports when you were young or what?
Yeah, actually, growing up, I was always an underdog. I was always considered a little guy. Both my parents are small. So, I've always wanted to play sports. As a freshman in high school, I played cross country. That didn't go too well because I discovered I hated running. And all my buddies were playing football. So that summer, my freshman year, I made it a mission. I made it a goal to put on as much weight, as much strength as I could. So I basically just busted my ass that entire summer, put on a good 15 pounds. By my senior year, I weighed 170 pounds, so just pure muscle. And freshman year, I weighed 100 pounds. I put on 70 pounds.
Wow.
And the sports I played after freshman year, after I failed at cross country miserably, was football, sophomore through senior year, and then as well as wrestling. The thing that was always tricky was having to gain weight for football. I had to put on 20 pounds. I had to cut weight for wrestling, 15 pounds. But even at a young age, I was able to learn how to manipulate my diet, my exercise, my body to achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve, whether it was, football, wrestling, any sport, and overall how to change my physique in the most efficient way possible. It's always been a big part of my life. And then, of course, confidence. Being a little guy, I always lacked confidence. Bodybuilding to me wasn't just something that I enjoyed. It was something that I felt like I had to do just to gain that confidence, and it helped with that as well. So it's always been a big part of my life. And then combining that, as being a physician, knowing the science, knowing the biology behind everything, that's what's really great. Taking something you've always loved, it was always a passion, but then using it in your career as a business.
Absolutely. So when did you get
very blessed?
Yeah. So when did you get interested in becoming a physician?
Becoming a physician. So, I guess we come from humble beginnings. Growing up, I was poor. My family was poor. My parents are both immigrants, and they've always, instilled the notion to work hard. I'm always working hard, no matter what I do. I work 12-hour shifts, and I come home and I work online. As far as when I wanted to become a physician, I've always been interested in science. I'm brought up in a family of science. My mother is a physician. She came from Syria to America when I was 2 years old, with barely any money in her pocket. She had to moonlight, hours in, hours out. Sometimes I wouldn't see her. That made me despise medicine. But the thing that really inspired me to become a physician was just seeing how much she was respected, how much people looked up to her. And her giving back to patients. She's saving patients' lives. And just seeing that really motivated me to become a physician too. And the funny thing is, she never pushed me to, become a physician. And some of the foreign, parents are like, oh, when you grow up, you have to be a doctor. You know how that goes.
Right.
She just wanted me to do what I wanted to do. And I was just always so inspired by her, just seeing how she saved people's lives and improved people's lives. I wanted to become a physician. And that's what, I guess started the whole thing. I think since childhood, really.
That's cool. Now, you were out here a few weeks ago, and we had a good time, man. We got to kind of know each other. And one of the things that you said that I really wanted you to share with our audience, again, everybody listening, Dr. Adam is a medical doctor. I mean, he's an MD. He's gone through all the training. He knows everything from the medical side of things, but his bodybuilding, he also knows some things that I'm going to say some medical doctors don't know about. But you were telling me how you see all these people come under your care that have had problems from supplements they've been taking.
Oh, absolutely. And it happens more times than not. I work the sad part thing is I work as an inpatient hospitalist. So these aren't patients that are coming in with, headaches or something that you can treat as an outpatient. These are patients who are coming in ill. I mean, if they're not going to be coming into the hospital getting admitted as an inpatient, if they're not severely ill. So these patients are coming in with kidney failure. They're coming in with hepatitis. So hepatitis means inflammation of the liver. Sometimes they come in with cirrhosis where it's irreversible. They have complete damage of their liver. Unfortunately, a lot of these patients, essentially all of them, were young male athletes. They were healthy young guys that didn't have any underlying disease. They were athletes. They were in their 20s, and I took care of a gentleman that was on dialysis. We were taking some creatine complex that's actually widely sold on the market. It's not, something he just found in the corner somewhere. That was from my residency until now. Like, I see it more often than not. I've had a total now of 4 cases like this. These are just cases that I've seen. I mean, if we were to, I don't have any statistics, but if we were to look at supplement-related health issues just on an inpatient basis, it's pretty high.
And
the problem is they just keep getting away with this.
They do. So was that the motivation for you to basically start a second career, getting into developing sports nutrition products because of what you were seeing that was hindering your patients?
Yeah, I've always had an interest in doing it. I've been obsessed with bodybuilding. I'm obsessed with fitness, nutrition, but I think after seeing that, it just kind of shined the light, pulled the trigger that, hey, this is like a slap in the face. This is telling you that you need to do this. I'm not very religious. I like to consider myself a spiritual guy. I do think, everything happens for a reason. The people you meet, the things you see. And I really felt like this is like almost an epiphany. Like this is your mission. This is what you need to do. And this is your passion. This is why you're here. Even when I was a resident, before I even became a doctor, I was taking a pre-workout. And, it worked. It worked great. But the problem was I could almost feel like I was having arrhythmia. Like an abnormal heartbeat. And, I was taking it for several months, and then months later I found out it had precursors to methamphetamine. I could have, failed a drug test. I could have not even gotten into residency and became a doctor. Little things like that can really change your life for the worse. All these things really, together really promoted this mission that I had that, this is what you need to do.
Absolutely. And, Brian, we talk about this all the time. People say that the supplement industry is unregulated, which is not true. It's the number 2 most regulated industry. But that doesn't mean that people aren't doing things wrong. And Brian, we talk about how, supplement companies just put anything in a bottle and throw it out in the market. And I think that's what Dr. Adam is talking about here.
Yes, I think it actually comes down to a couple things. We've bumped into this. There's people on one side that trust their manufacturer is giving them what they ask for in that product. Little do they know that the manufacturer is trying to cut corners and giving them bad product. But then there's the other guys that go hand in hand with this stuff, and they know what they're doing. They are just looking for the fastest, quickest way to put money in their bank account and make sales, and they will flat out cheat. And they are the bad apples, like they say, that spoil it for everybody. And that's unfortunate because this is a tremendously helpful industry. Yes, we're not on the pharmaceutical side of the table, which is a whole different, ball of wax there, but we offer great value to this marketplace. And for people, I don't want to see one or two mess it up for all of us. And I thank God that we have guys like Dr. Adam who have been willing to step up to the plate and get in the game and fight the good fight on our side.
Yeah, and, again, Doctor, we've had conversations when we first talked, and I think it's interesting, again, for people to realize that most supplement companies, and I'm going to say most, they don't understand the human body like you do as a doctor. That's why, you saw what was happening to people, and as you started to get into formulating, you were looking at more from what is this going to do? Is it going to interact with other items? And that's kind of how you formulated your post-edge.
Absolutely. every drug that you take has side effects. This is what I always tell patients. If you look at the side effect profile, even Tylenol or aspirin, right? These are sold over the counter. There's hundreds of side effects. So anything you take has consequences, and you're combining one thing that has consequences with another thing, and you're not using the correct dosages, and you're not using the correct form, that can cause big health issues. And people who aren't even taking medications. I mean, these young athletes I took care of, they were not anything. I think one of them was maybe taking a multivitamin, but that's about it. Imagine if you're, a patient who takes blood pressure meds or takes, diabetes meds. Think of how many people in North America have high blood pressure or diabetes. So it's really a serious problem. If it's a proprietary blend, don't even buy it. I don't care who makes it. Even if it's a reputable company, why would you buy something that's a proprietary blend? I mean, you don't know what's in it. You're blindfolded. There's a question mark on the box, and it could be grass fertilizer. That's the way you should look at it. So if it's a proprietary blend, do not even buy it. That is medical advice. This isn't me just saying it as another supplement company, because there are other companies who don't use proprietary blends, and that's fine.
Yep.
So we're not claiming we're the only one, but we're definitely one of the few.
Brian, about time for break?
Yes, it is. I was getting ready to say it is time for break, guys. Let's go ahead and go to break when we get back. Let's kind of pick up on this topic since we've kind of opened that can of worms already about proprietary blends, some of the things that you're now going to hear from a medical doctor tell you flat out what to avoid and what to look for so that you get the best bang for your buck. So anyway, let's go ahead and go to break. We'll be right back.
Well, welcome back to the EFX Sports Show live on ESPN 910 Radio. We are talking with Dr. Adam here. And, one of the things you told me, which really stuck in my brain, Dr. Adam, is we were talking about companies who mix like 5 or 6 different creatines together. And you made the analogy from like an antibiotic. Could you tell our listeners what you were telling me and what your thoughts are?
Yeah, it just blows my mind because more and more companies are doing this. Some companies that I even thought were semi-reputable, they're doing it. So this is what I was kind of talking about earlier when we did our interview. We have an interview coming out, everyone, me and Dr. Jeff, and it's not one you guys want to miss. Stay tuned. It should be out by next week. But anyways, what I was saying is if you have a form of creatine that's proven to be superior to the others, you already know this is the best form possible. Why would you blend 6 other forms of creatine? Well, there's only one answer: profit margins. If it's a proprietary blend, that's an obvious choice why it was done. Let's say it's not proprietary. Some of these companies will list it. They'll put, 2 grams of creatine monohydrate, 2 grams of creatine HCl, 2 grams of creatine ester, and then 3 other forms of creatine where I don't even know what they are. So from the perspective that I was talking about, just imagine you come in with a strep throat, right? Treatment is penicillin. Why would I give you 6 antibiotics for something that I've already identified? Let's say you come in with an ear infection or you have pneumonia. I'm not going to give you 6, 7 antibiotics. I'm going to give you the one antibiotic that works. What's going to happen if I give you 6 or 7 antibiotics? All these antibiotics have side effects. They all have different types of side effects. Some can affect your liver. Some can affect your kidney. You're going to end up suffering. And you should be pissed off if I'm giving you 6 antibiotics. You should be pissed off if you're buying a supplement that has 6 different creatines. But like I said, so many companies are doing it. Why are they doing it? Because, 1 or 2 companies did it. They made money off of it because we live in America. More is better, right?
Yeah.
So now all these other companies are following suit. And the problem with the industry is you shouldn't follow somebody's footsteps just because they're making money. You should follow the company that's changing lives, that's helping people achieve results, that's helping people live longer lives, Those are the type of footsteps you want to follow, not the footsteps that make you a quick buck. But unfortunately, the way the industry works is these companies are going to follow suit as long as they make money.
Let me ask you something, what you think on this, because this is kind of an interesting, topic. If I came into you knowing the cost and you told me to go get 6 or 7 different antibiotics, I would be mad at you for that because not only is it going to probably cost me more, but I know that they're probably not going to work. Why aren't people mad when they go into the health food store and the guy goes, here, use this creatine product. It's got 7 different ones in there. Why aren't they mad at the supplement companies?
They should be, because at the end of the day, these are the people formulating these supplements. Yeah. It drives me crazy because they market it in a way where they make it appear like this is the best form of creatine. And these patients can really get damage to their kidneys because creatine gets absorbed into creatinine, which is bio waste. When somebody comes in with acute kidney injury, we measure their creatinine, right? Because if your kidneys aren't working, your creatinine is going to be high. You're not filtering out that bio waste. Well, that's what creatine gets converted to. And the only form of creatine on the market that does not get converted into this bio waste is crealkaline. However, it's going to cost them a lot less money to take two forms of creatine that they probably create in their basement, blend it, and then call it a creatine complex, and then put 7 different forms of creatine so the consumer thinks they're getting more for their money. I mean, it's pretty genius. It's pretty smart.
It's about the dollar. It's about making money. And hey, Brian, there you heard it from a medical doctor. It isn't just Dr. Jeff going out there saying creatinine's a bio waste.
Yeah, and actually, I think the other answer to what you were asking there, Dr. Jeff, is people just aren't educated. That's why we do what we do with this type of show, is to get this word out to the public so they understand how not to be taken in by these little scams, or I shouldn't even say little, I mean by these scams that are just going on in the industry where people are after more your money than they are to help you, unfortunately. But again, that's not the majority. That's definitely not the majority. It's just these trends develop and people jump on, and there you go, right? So actually, let's change gears just slightly here, Dr. Adam. I wanted to ask you, what is your definition? And this is kind of cool because you are a medical doctor. How do you define what being healthy means?
So being healthy is a lifestyle. You know, there's so many different diets that you hear about, different, workouts, what's better, high intensity cardio, more weight. At the end of the day, we all have different genetics. What diet works for me may not work for you. There's no one proven diet that works for everyone. It's being consistent with whatever you do. If you're working out 5 days a week, if you're trying to cut down on carbs, or maybe you're trying to do a different type of diet, you need to be consistent. I call it the 3 C's. And you can apply this in not only your being fit lifestyle, but also success. First, you have to have the courage. It takes courage for somebody who eats, 3 burgers a day usually and has a sedentary lifestyle. It takes courage to jump out of your comfort zone and to change your lifestyle to be healthy. The second one is commitment. You need to make a commitment. I'm going to work out 1.5 hours per day, 4 days a week. I'm going to cut my carbs by, 50 carbs per day. You need to set goals. You need to make that commitment. And the third one, if you guys are writing this down, circle it, star it, highlight it, it's consistency, because that is the hardest one. It's the hardest one for me. It's the hardest one for my patients. It's being consistent. And that's the most important part of being fit, of being healthy, is being consistent. If you're working out 3 days in a week and you did good on your diet, then the next 2 days you're getting drunk and eating nachos at the bar because you're wasted. Well, guess what? You wasted those 3 days. I'm not saying you can't have a cheat meal. I'm not saying you can't have a beer every now and then, but you need to be consistent. So that's what being healthy is all about. It's a lifestyle. It's not about taking this supplement or eating this type of food, or it's more about how you live your day-to-day life and being consistent with that. Of course, supplements really help with results. They can help you achieve results faster. Otherwise, I wouldn't be taking supplements. I've been taking supplements for almost 2 decades now because I have noticed that when I don't take supplements, it may take me longer to get results. But at the end of the day, if I'm not putting the work in, I'm not eating right, I'm not sleeping right, I'm not, working out, supplements aren't the answer. So it's really, it's a lifestyle. That's really what being healthy is.
Well, and I've heard you say something along these lines. Maybe you could just expound upon this. You said something like your body reflects yourself, which reflects your commitment to others.
If you're not taking care of yourself, how are you going to take care of others? And you can look at this from a medical standpoint. Let's say you have 3 kids. You're a 55-year-old man. You're working, but you're not taking care of yourself. You're not taking your cholesterol-lowering medication. You're not dieting. You're still smoking. How are you going to take care of your future family? How are you going to take care of others? And your body is a reflection of how you take care of yourself. I see this in my career all the time. You have these cardiologists, which is a heart doctor, and they're taking care of patients, and they're telling them, you need to diet, and they're, pointing their finger at the patient's face. You need to eat this. You need to, stop smoking. And they're like 100 pounds overweight. You reflect how you take care of yourself. And if you're not taking care of your body, you're not eating right, you're smoking, you're drinking every day, you're not going to be able to take care of others. You need to commit to yourself before you commit to others.
That makes perfect sense. I know there's some old saying or something like physician heal thyself, which is just what you just described right there. Is, my goodness, you really need to live, be a walking billboard. And I know you are for your brand, which reminds me, before we run out of time, I just want to say real quickly, I know you have some stuff you're working on. I don't know much about them, but I know you have some new formulations that you're getting ready to release at some point.
Yes, anytime we make a product, it's something that I feel like the market really needs. I mean, I could make another protein product or another pre-workout. I mean, I am deciding on making a pre-workout, don't get me wrong, but it's not something that I feel like the market really needs right now, because there are some good pre-workouts. The products that we're making are 3 products that we're hopefully will be out by January. They're products that we feel the market really needs. I'll drop a few clues. One of them is going to be a pill, and the other 2 are going to be a powdered form. That's all I can give right now. I don't want to give too much away.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I know. And again, you want to get everything right before you make too big of a promise, and then all of a sudden, these things don't ever come out, or who knows.
It's getting right. I can tell you on my end, it's going to be good.
Me and Dr. Jeff, that's a good point that you made, Brian. Me and Dr. Jeff are very big perfectionists. So before we even think about putting it on the market, we are testing it.
Yep.
We're making sure all the ingredients, blend correctly. We're using proper dosages.
Yep.
So when we put out products, I mean, there is so much science and so much research that goes into it. And you don't really see that in the industry, and it's sad.
And folks, with I know, Brian, Adam, you can tell everybody where they can find out about your product, but you aren't going to find what I call fairy dusting. And this is what Dr. Adam was talking about, these proprietary blends where you don't have to put the ingredient first that has the most. That's a food thing. It's not required in the dietary supplements. So you would look at something and go, oh, yeah, that's the first on the list, so there must be a lot. No, they will put all the expensive stuff at the first on the list. Fairy dusting is literally having some dust and going up to a mixer and just blowing a little bit in there. I mean, it's not even enough to find. So you will never find that with the items that we're formulating together here. And that's why it's the best of the best. You put 2 professionals from 2 different industries, and we are using all of our knowledge for the good of a product, for the good of the person taking the product. Pretty phenomenal.
It's so unfortunate, again, that there's just a few bad apples out there that seem to profit and prosper, that are successful, if you will, not in the way we would say, that potentially could, again, ruin this for the rest of us. But thank God there are guys like Dr. Adam Rajoulh out there, Dr. Jeff Galini, and Coach Brian, I got to get my doctorate now, I guess, that are trying to fight the good fight, educate the public, and give them products that really work, that you can believe in, and we can lay our head on the pillow at night feeling good about what we've done that day. And it's more about just making a buck. And also, unfortunately, we are out of time for this episode. So I do want to thank Dr. Adam Rajoulh for being on with us. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. I appreciate your passion, the quality product that you are going out of your way to make and to offer the marketplace. Thank you to our audience for listening. We would not have this show without you. We appreciate your love and support. Again, please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes when you go there to subscribe, of course. And with that, we will call this one done for this week. So God bless you. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me, guys. God bless.